Good day, everyone.
I was born and raised in Detroit. Growing up there, I saw people like me running things.
This is a courtroom, not a circus, so we're gonna calm down.
I'm sorry.
What I found there was a passion that I didn't know existed.
This is the bottom line.
I'm excited to free fall into the limitless possibilities with we the people. So many are fearful of the law. They think it's something that works against them.
I think you need to begin to accept responsibility for your mistakes.
We are the people.
Isaiah Stram claims his ex-friend snatched a bottle of rare whiskey out of his liquor cabinet and broke it.
All rise.
Chris Winter says the bottle dropped when someone bumped into him at Mr. Stram's party, and he's not to blame.
Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Lauren Lake presiding.
You may be seated.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello, thank you, Sean. Good day, everyone. Good day. This is the case of Stram versus Winter. Mr. Stram, you are suing Mr. Winter for $250. You say your friend broke a bottle of rare whiskey and won't replace it. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defendant, you say it wasn't your fault. It was knocked out of your hands. All right, I'll start with you, plaintiff. What type of whiskey is this?
I'm not too much of a connoisseur. Honestly, Chris put me onto this whole kind of thing, but it was fit for the winter, winter festivities. It has some sort of, I want to say, what do they call it? A pine kind of taste to it.
I'm not a whiskey connoisseur either, but if it costs $250, they must have done something to it. Any whiskey connoisseurs in the gallery that know a little bit about whiskey? You do.
Yes,
Well, I'll let you tell me about it, defendant. What type of whiskey was this?
it was a whiskey that's been aged for 50 years. The first 25 go through a French oak, and then the next 25 go through a port barrel, so it adds a nice sweet and vanilla hue. It's a rye whiskey as well, so it just adds a nice subtle sweetness to a very bold style of rye and whiskey.
Okay, so is this this is your drink of choice, or?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, I've been in the restaurant industry ever since I was a kid. I've gotten myself to be a manager at this point, and my restaurant that I was working at had one bottle at one time. We all were allowed to sample it, and my mind was just blown.
Oh, it was really great. It lived up to the price.
It was phenomenal. It was worth every single penny. So I went to his house for an annual Christmas party that he's been hosting for the past few years now, and I saw it big and bold on display on his shelf, and I just grabbed it and I ran straight to him and I said, Zay, we gotta have this. This is designed for Christmas. Even on their website, it says it has Christmas plum notes. It's designed for a winter beverage.
So you saw it at his house?
Yes, ma'am.
And that's the thing.
At a party?
Yes, ma'am.
And where was the bottle?
It was in his liquor cabinet.
In the cabinet?
Yes, ma'am.
And you went and got it out the cabinet?
Yes, ma'am.
And so it wasn't a locked cabinet?
It wasn't locked, but it wasn't public.
It was in the cabinet?
Yes, ma'am.
And you got it out, went and told him, hey, we've got to have some of this?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And what happens?
Well, I kept saying this is the moment. He kept just kind of getting bigger and bigger about this is not the moment. And I just was so excited about this. I was trying to tell him the notes, the history of it all, and why we have to have this for Christmas. And it just kind of just blew up bigger and bigger. Next thing you know, one of our friends, his name's Mark, he had clearly too much to drink, comes stumbling around the corner. He bumps into me. I drop the whiskey all over the floor, and now he wants to sue me the whole amount when it wasn't entirely my fault. I do see how I had the bottle in my hands.
It's over the principle. It's really the principle.
So you say it's the principle, Mr. Stram?
So this bottle was purchased by my father-in-law in celebration of my son that just came in the world a few months ago.
So it was a gift to you when you became a new father?
Yes.
And so it was sentimental to you?
Yes,
okay.
Between me and my wife, Sarah.
And so where's your liquor cabinet situated in reference to your bar?
So I do have a man cave in my home, but as far as where the festivities were going down, they're two totally separate rooms. I'm in the living room, tending to our guests and things of that nature. And, he wandered off on his own whereabouts and came back with the bottle. And I wanted to let him know then and there, oh, hey, can you, put that back because this is what it's for, what I just described to you. He was talking over me, not letting me get that point across to the point. I'm getting frustrated. He's getting frustrated.
Well, he was saying he was so excited because he remembers it seeing in the restaurant. He wanted to tell you how exciting it was that you had this during the holiday. He probably was excited, as excited or more, given how he described it here today. Hey, I want to try
And
it.
I can see that.
I don't even like whiskey. But, yeah, I already was like, let me get this on the list for Christmas time. I don't even like whiskey. But, Mr. Strom, you're saying that the place where your liquor cabinet was an entirely different room than where the party was being hosted at the time.
Correct, Your Honor.
Okay. Well, so you're entertaining guests. He says when he's trying to explain this to you, it began to blow up, and you're saying it's not the moment, it's not the moment. Were you trying to verbalize that that is a sentimental bottle, so it's not about
Yes,
the
Your Honor.
holidays to me, it's about it's something that I want to keep?
Exactly, and I couldn't get that point across. So I grew frustrated, indeed. Between the back and forth, he dropped the bottle, and
He's
there's
making it
that.
sound like I'm reckless, like
Well,
I just dropped
he says
bottles.
that a friend named Mark bumped into him because he
Yes.
was drunk and he dropped it.
I don't quite remember that.
Coming up.
I could tell by the way you talking, you don't know a whiskey, honey. They could give you some Ripple. You wouldn't know the
If it
difference
does the trick, if it does the
between
job, you
this
know.
whiskey and some Ripple, honey.
And later.
And so what happens to bring you here to court for $1,275, alleging that she almost killed the dog?
Right, so she actually left her nose ring out on the coffee table.
If you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. You're watching Emmy-nominated We the People with Judge Lauren Lake. We're back with a dispute between Isaiah Stram and Chris Winter over a pricey bottle of whiskey.
This is a simple case, which is great. But it's a case where a lot of people can learn from this. Because I don't believe, Mr. Winter, you had a bit of ill intent.
No.
I think given your excitement about the bottle and the fact that it was the holidays, you had the knowledge, right? It's almost like someone has a gem in their home that they may not understand how great that is, right? We should have some of this. Where you went wrong was you went and got it out the case. Instead of maybe saying, hey man, I went into your man cave, you've got the most incredible bottle of whiskey in there. I want to show you, it's this one. I tried it, it's incredible, it's perfect for the holidays. And then maybe under those circumstances, without the commotion of a party around him, he could have said to you, oh no man, that's for me when my child was born. No, the minute you went in that cabinet and got that bottle in your hand and assumed dominion and control over it, you were responsible. And it's his bottle, so you owed him a duty of care to handle it with care. This is where it gets tricky. You took it into a room where you knew people were there and the party was going on and people were drinking. It would be reasonable to assume that somebody in there may have had too much to drink. And so should we take this very expensive bottle that we're holding in our hands amongst other people who are drinking, could someone bump you in a room with a lot of people? It is foreseeable that that could happen. A reasonable person in those circumstances, knowing how expensive that bottle was, would probably take better care. The part of this case that makes it so clear to this court is you weren't even a reasonable average person. You were a whiskey and wine and beverage, not a connoisseur, but you were knowledgeable about this because of your experience in the restaurant business. That says to me that you would even owe a higher duty of care. You would know better to not bring that bottle out amongst a whole bunch of people. It doesn't make any sense because if someone bumped you and you weren't holding on to it well enough, it can do what? It can fall and break. For that reason...
Can I say something?
Absolutely not. You said everything you needed to say. It was fantastic. As soon as you got up, start talking about how you went to the restaurant and you did this, the only thing I want to know is the proof that the bottle cost $250. Anybody bring that?
I have that evidence.
I'll take it.
Thank you.
You can submit your evidence if you want, Mr. Winter, but it won't help you.
And as you clearly see,
I don't need you to talk either. You can
Yes,
go
Your Honor.
ahead and present your evidence. You so devastated now, Mr. Winter. There's the crash bottle. Here's the price. It is what it is.
I just don't feel that I'm entirely at fault for the situation. If you were to go to your sister's house, and that's how I look at
Hey,
Isaiah as
dude.
my
The
brother.
thing-
I'm sorry if I upset you last night. I'm just a fan of that whiskey, and it's been a while since I had it. I'll be more considerate in the future. Your lead text.
I made the wrong assumption. I assumed that I was at my brother's house and I could grab.
Apologizes for it and says you'll be more considerate, which
Because I made the wrong
means
assumption.
you were being a little inconsiderate.
I
You
made the
just
wrong
telling on
assumption.
yourself?
I just made the wrong assumption. That was all.
I appreciate the apology. I'm still upset. What? It got knocked out of my hands.
Oh, that's
and
our
where's
text.
the guy who did the knocking out of hands? You didn't bring him to court, huh?
Thank you.
I honestly don't remember that situation.
Because he's lying.
Yeah.
I got bumped into.
Okay, Mr. Winter, you can be all upset on your way to the liquor store to get another bottle, because what I would do is I'd pay him for that one, and then I would still go get him something nice, because the truth is, even when I award him this $250, it won't bring back the sentimental value of that very bottle that was purchased for him for a very special occasion. I could tell by the way you talking, you don't know a whiskey, honey. They could give you some Ripple. You wouldn't know the difference
if it does the trick, if it does the job,
this
you know.
whiskey and some Ripple, honey. I could tell that
It's
from
gonna
your
get you there.
testimony. But it's the fact that someone gave it to you under these beautiful circumstances.
Exactly. That's where
and
I'm
this
coming
court
from.
understands that you were negligent, Mr. Winter, and you had the knowledge of the expense of that bottle. You had no business going in somebody's house, in their property. When somebody puts something in a liquor cabinet, that's because they don't want people's hands on it. You wasn't at the restaurant. You was at somebody's house. Judgment for the plaintiff for $250. Court is adjourned.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All rise.
Judge Lake has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant is ordered to pay $250.
The point I wanted to get across to you is that bottle, it wasn't about the rarity of the bottle or the price of the bottle, but it's about the significance of the bottle as it related to me and my significant other, my wife.
You bringing me to court just proves that you and Sarah can off.
Coming up,
It was my slippers that I left in the freaking hallway.
Well,
I'm not a messy person.
Aware
Watch
that
your
there was
language
a
in court,
Sorry,
Ms. Hill.
sorry, ma'am.
Listen, you all are young. You're in college. These are the lessons you learn in college, right?
you're watching Emmy-nominated We the People with Judge Lauren Lake. Sage Myers claims her ex-roommate's negligence nearly killed her dog, and she owes for the vet bills. Brooklyn Hill says it's not her fault that the canine swallowed her nose ring. The defendant is countersuing in the amount of $550.
Good day, everyone. Good day. This is the case of Myers versus Hill. Ms. Myers, you're suing Ms. Hill for $1,275. You say your former roommate almost killed your dog. The defendant owes you money for all of the vet bills. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right, Ms. Hill, you say that it was the plaintiff's fault and that her dog destroyed your property, and you're countersuing for $550. Is that correct?
That is correct, yes.
All right, well, Ms. Myers, I'll start with you. You say she almost killed the dog?
Yes.
So you all were roommates?
We were roommates. This is my former roommate.
Okay, and so what happens to bring you here to court for $1,275 alleging that she almost killed the dog?
Right, so she actually left her nose ring out on the coffee table, and after we repeatedly talked about not leaving stuff out and cleaning up after yourself, and then my dog ate it and ended up going to the vet in emergency surgery, and he almost died.
When you moved in, did you have a roommate agreement? Did you have an agreement that you did in writing about what everyone's responsibilities were?
We did make a roommate agreement.
Did you bring that? A copy
I did.
of that roommate agreement? May I see it, please? Thank you, Sean. So you were smart enough to say, let's get some things in writing. And in this roommate agreement, you say that you have to respect each other's space, have quiet hours between 10 and 7 a.m., clean up after yourself and keep the common areas clean, keep Buckley in his kennel when no one is home, and wash dishes in a timely manner. Okay, that's pretty straightforward. You agree to these rules, obviously. This is your signature, Ms. Hill?
Yes, I did.
Coming up,
She didn't follow up her rules of keeping herself tidy and clean.
So
cleaning
you're
up after
saying,
herself.
I did. It
leaving
just
a
took me a couple
headphone
of
sitting on
hours.
the couch is not being tidy?
you're watching Emmy-nominated We the People with Judge Lauren Lake. We're back with the case of Sage Myers, who is fighting with Brooklyn Hill over vet bills.
All right, and so you're saying that by her leaving her nose ring, what size of nose ring was this? Do you have a picture of it, or was it similar to what she's wearing now?
I have multiple kinds. This is a ring, and I have studs too, so it was one of my studs.
All right, and so you're suing her because you say she owes you for these vet bills, and I see you brought a copy of the vet bills.
I did.
Emergency room, blood work, x-rays, ultrasound, and another emergency procedure for $1,000. What do you have to say in response, Ms. Hill?
What I have to say in response is that I am countersuing her for my $500 headphones, and not even to mention all of the other things that her dog destroyed of mine that would all add up to well over $1,200.
So you're saying that he destroyed your headphones how? Where were the headphones?
So I did leave them in the living room. Like, yes, I'll admit fault to that, but like...
And so did you bring a receipt for the headphones?
Yes, I have.
May I see that, please?
Yes.
So, Ms. Myers, you don't dispute that the dog chewed the headphones?
The dog did chew the headphones, but the dog has chewed up some stuff before, and that's because she left it out in the living
That's
space,
just more-
in our living space.
That's just like more of a point that he's
But
chewed up so much
because
of my
of that,
stuff.
we decided to make this roommate agreement, and because I did my part and I followed the rules, kept him in the kennel when nobody was there, and then I took him out of the kennel when I was there. And she didn't follow up her rules of keeping herself tidy and clean.
So
cleaning
you're
up after
saying,
herself.
I did. It
leaving
just
a
took me a couple
headphone
of
sitting
hours.
on the couch is not being tidy? I
Yes.
mean, I'm a pretty organized person, but I mean, just your headphones on the couch would be considered not tidy under this roommate agreement?
Yeah, you wanna know what else? It was my sweater that was on the couch. It was my slippers that I left in the freaking hallway. Like,
Well, I
I'm
think
not
she
a
was
messy
also
person.
aware
Watch
that
your
there was
language
a
in court,
Sorry.
Ms. Hill.
Sorry, ma'am.
Listen, you all are young, you're in college. These are the lessons you learn in college, right?
Judge Lake's verdict when We the People returns. You're watching Emmy-nominated We the People with Judge Lauren Lake.
The truth is, Ms. Myers, it's your responsibility to ensure that your dog doesn't chew other people's things.
Well, that was why we made the agreement that she wouldn't leave stuff out and I would leave him in the kennel while
Well,
no
the
one was
agreement
there.
doesn't say you won't ever leave anything out. The agreement says you keep things tidy. The point that I'm making is a small ring on a coffee table what we think a dog would go and get? I don't think so. So if you were in the room when he ate the nose ring, that's your fault. If you were home when he ate the earphones, that's also your fault. Because guess whose dog it is? Yours. So I'm dismissing your petition and I'm awarding the defendant $550 because that's your dog, so you have to pay. Judgment for the defendant and the plaintiff's petition is dismissed. Court is adjourned.
All rise.
Judge Lake has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff is ordered to pay $550.
Any final thoughts with each other?
I hope you become a better dog parent.
I hope you never get a dog.
Why would I?
Please follow me.
This has been a production of Allen Media Group.